What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Homie Hangout, where we help others move in excellence. And I'm excited. We are really into actually helping people over here, and so I have a guest who I think can help, obviously. And so I'll let her introduce herself, and we'll go from there.
Hello, everyone. I'm Farah Mitchell, attorney, expungement attorney, and exoneration attorney based out of North Carolina, but I do nationwide work. I have experience in all the major cities: New York, California, Texas. So wherever you are, I can assist. Chicago, wherever you are, I can assist. I've been doing this work for the last 19 years, but I've been certified and had my degree for the last 2 years from Seton Hall.
Okay, great. Now we know obviously that record expungement, um, is a real challenge for a lot of people. Historically, it's been a big issue in California, and I'm sure in other states too. um, in particular, people that have like violent felonies and that sort of stuff. There's been a lot of push to help, people with low level drug offenses and stuff get their record cleared. But in talking with you offline, um, you see that things have changed a little bit. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in January 1st, the government saw that, they were doing extensive sentences for minor crimes. They were using your background and your offenses based off when you were a juvenile and, when you were younger. So they were giving sentencing off of that as well as long probation, lifetime paroles, things of that sort. So they came out with six new federal laws. That's the Penal Code 1109, the Penal Code 654, and they also have the Dismissing Enhancements Penal Code. So let's just talk about those three for right now. They're basically saying that, a lot of times you guys were those who were convicted were given extranomical large sentences. They weren't given a fair trial. They didn't have jury of their peers. It was maybe like a 6-man jury that were 50-year-old and 60-year-olds, and they, didn't even know exactly how to you know, even they're not even your culture, your race, your background. They don't even know exactly, what's currently going on in society and what made you choose to do certain things. Or if it was hearsay, that's another problem. We had a lot of hearsay, a lot of witness testimony that was not accurate, police testimony that was not accurate, even the prosecutor. A lot of times they painted you in a certain way. So it's another that's another way that you can get these dismissed just because of how things were back in the day. Then we have the Racial Equality Act. That's just saying that if you feel like your defense attorney made you take a pre-agreement, or they weren't active with you and talking to you, just making it say, okay, well, what I need you to do is just we're going to just go in here and this is what they have, not giving you your full discovery and not allowing you to address your accusers, just basically not giving you a wide spread of really defending you. So that's where the Racial Equality Justice Act goes. And so for those that are on permanent, lifetime parole, we can go back in and ask for adjudication, as well as those that are incarcerated. Because I do exonerations. We can ask for resentencing if you're incarcerated, as well as we can ask for um, a dismissal, exoneration and dismissal, like you walking out of the prison doors. So that's what I was trying to say. I'm trying to read at the same time, so
No, you're
work
okay.
with me a little bit. Then in California, we got the Proposition 46 and 64. So if anything that was a certain theft, the drug possession offenses, we're able to get those from felonies dropped to now to misdemeanor. So that's another good thing that California has passed, making it a low level crime. Um, and then the SB 485 that has a lot to do with the murder. Like, if, for example, if you and I went and committed a robbery, right, and we had, let's say, John outside as the driver. So this goes with the SB 1147 and then the SB 483. Now, I decided to shoot the clerk. You had no links that I was going to shoot the clerk. The clerk dies, whatever. They charge all three of us with murder. Now we can go back in and say, no, I didn't have any malintention on hurting anyone. So my sentence can be reduced or my conviction can be removed. Your conviction be removed as well. Well, I did the shooting. I'm sorry. So yours and the drivers can be
Mhm.
removed. So yeah, it's just some great laws. It's a lot to explain. I have a great
Of course.
PowerPoint that does it. But just imagine these violent crimes. I'm a habitual offender specialist, and these violent crimes are what we're going after and asking them to be dismissed. You normally it's a 30-day turnaround process. 'Cause I know a lot of people ask that, and how I say to get started with me, you need to go get a background check. You can go to checker.com or you can contact me. I have a lady that does it instantaneously. Contact me by Instagram and we'll get your background check. Then from there, I just go ahead and start the expungement 30-day process. We get an answer. And again, if let's say that they don't give it to you in the first time, there's other ways we can go. We can go speak with the DA. We can go speak with your judge. We can
Mhm.
then, if your judge is still presiding, we can send your paperwork directly to the judge and say, here, we have a prayer for judgment. Say, hey, sir, I cannot no longer get grants for my business. I can't find affordable housing. I can't get the job I need. I have a family of 5. Sometimes it has to be personalized.
Mhm.
So I'll go back around and in another 2 to 3 weeks, you got your thing expunged. I'm talking about records that you've had 6 and 7 years and 10 years and multiple charges. Now is the time before this election, people, my
Right.
black and brown people. Now this is the time to get your stuff together.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's a wise word. And so it's interesting because you hear sometimes about people that will do expungement work or whatever. They don't cover the scope of things that you're talking about. But also, I haven't heard anybody else um, take such a personal approach, right? Like you said, of hey, we'll get at the judges. Like we're really gonna fight this, and we're really gonna try to find a way to to clear your background or at least make it better than than it is. And so, if people want to reach you, I see your IGs on the screen. Is that kind of the best way to connect with you?
Yes, so I can kind of keep it streamlined because I have a case that I'm working on. I don't try to pray for me on this one. The guy's did 40 years in prison and we're trying to get him home. So he's
Okay.
never met any of his grandchildren.
Wow.
So that's like my baby. But I have an assistant. Don't get me wrong. Don't let that deter you. I
Right.
have an assistant and I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to my clients. So I'm able to, maneuver and
Right.
make sure that everybody is well handled in a timely fashion.
Okay. So if somebody's interested in your services, they just hit you up on IG and you kind of walk them through it from there. Uh,
I'm sorry. The first thing I would say is get your background
right.
because let's not waste a step. We can already get that. If it's anywhere from 1 to 3 charges, it's $200, and
Okay.
if it's more than 3 charges, I charge 325.
Okay.
That's like if it's 2 different counties or things of that sort. So, but
Okay.
I'm everybody else is 1700, 1800 with
Right.
no
Right.
guarantee. Me, I'll go all the way to the state supreme if we had to.
Right.
It's my mission is not about money. My mission is about changing people's lives, giving people opportunities, because we're at disparity.
Right. Right. No, definitely at a disadvantage. So speaking of your mission, what what gets you into this work? That especially for attorneys, there's not a lot of attorneys who say, "But I worked this hard. I went through law school. I did all this work, and now I just want to help clear people's records for a couple $100." Right. So, um, so what brings you really to kind of this work, this community work?
Okay, well, my mother, I had 2 brothers that were incarcerated in Philadelphia, and they were sitting on a year with no bond. And my mother spent $10,000 on a lawyer, and he wasn't giving her any assistance, wouldn't pick up her calls, wouldn't answer her letters, and she was just devastated. She was like, "My son was just sitting. I've spent all my savings, and I felt that was just hurtful. Like, this man at least can respond to her. We would fly out from California to Philadelphia try to see him. He wouldn't see us. He wouldn't even show up to court half of the time. So anyway, long story short, I started studying. I was 19 years old. Okay, I started studying the courts, the USC laws, the constitutional laws, the UCC laws. I started studying Philadelphia, well, Pennsylvania, because they have the Commonwealth, they have their own
Right.
laws. And I was using acts and laws from 1934, 1800. I was at that time they had MySpace for those who know MySpace, and I would talk to lawyers and just get a whole bunch of people to help me out. And finally, we wrote two motions to dismiss and motions to suppress evidence, and we were able to get them out after like 4 months. It took about 4 months of work,
Right. No,
but
that's
that's good because now I have that experience. Those same
right,
laws don't change.
right, right. Well, and I think people do better work, at least in my experience with doing community work and stuff. People do better work when it's personal and it's passionate for them, right? Than just kind of checking the box on, your professional journey. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I know that and not too far in the future, I'm gonna wind up, kind of getting your services and seeing what I could do to get my. I've been home almost 20 years. My background is, it's violent, right? I got attempted murder from '96, but it doesn't hold me back too much now because I've been home for so long. But just personally for me, right? It's would I pay $5,000 to get my record expunged? No, right? I really wouldn't. It's not that important for me and where I'm at in life right now. Um, but a couple $100 to just sort of it's a personal victory, right? Like it would be dope, man. It would be really nice.
A lot of
Now,
my clients say now I'm able to share my skin.
ah, wow, that's it. So something that I know a lot of people are gonna wonder, and I feel like I know the answer to it, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. Uh, if somebody gets their record expunged, right? Because there's differences, right, between um, getting a record sealed, getting a pardon, getting it expunged. A lot of times we use those words interchangeably, but they're not necessarily the same thing, right?
Well, in California, it's a full expungement, okay. But New
Yeah,
York, yes, they have a sealed, but it's your employer still cannot see that if you want to
right.
go for a job or an apartment. Once it's sealed, it's sealed. They're not able to get that record. Only law enforcement will be able to get that record. Now, with the pardon, that's more for if you're on parole, lifetime parole, or if you were incarcerated. Like for example, we were working in North Carolina. We've been working doing some rallies here. Our governor just signed a prison reform and he let 5 people pardon. He pardoned 5 people out of prison. So that's where, but if you're already on the, out and on
Right.
the streets, it's either going to be expungement in California and other Western states, is expungement, and sealing mostly is on the East Coast.
Okay,
Mm.
so if I get my record expunged, then legally, um,
You can
I get
carry
my
a gun.
constitutional right to a firearm back, right?
John Gotti can go
Yeah,
get his gun with these new
right,
laws. That's how
right,
I put that. I put that.
right.
What do you call that? Excurt in. But
Sir,
yeah, people who were in federal prison are now able to carry guns.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and on that note, again, your IG's on the screen.
Yes.
Folks that watch the channel, you guys have my Instagram. Reach out to me. I'll gladly, connect you guys. Again, get your background check. Right, get your background check first. That's pretty easy to do. And and again, I appreciate you. I've had folks reach out to me asking me to help. I know one guy in Hawaii was like, "Hey man, can you help me with this?" Because I do some legal work, but I don't do expungement stuff. I don't. That's kind of a new lane for me. So there's a steep learning curve, right? And I was like, man, I'll help you out, but you need to get your background first, right? And
Right,
so
right. I need to see what I'm
I
working with. Right.
yeah, but that's outside my element. That's outside of my strength. That's outside my expertise. So it is it better than not doing anything at all? Sure, but I'm incredibly thankful that you reached out because now I have somebody. Or about look, if this is what you're looking for, go here. And so I appreciate you.
And motions too. Don't I do exonerations and
Mhm.
sentence reductions. I'm going in there saying I go with a 64-page motion. Let this man out.
Right,
He's done his time.
right.
It was a wrongful conviction.
Mhm.
There's a couple of reasons why people behind these bars and shouldn't be.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, I appreciate you again. Thank you, and maybe we'll have you back on. I'll see maybe uh, some folks might want to have you on and just kind of do a live where they could ask some questions and stuff. But
Sure,
it,
sure.
this is kind of the easiest format to sort of get the message out, right, without the
Yes.
distraction of the comments and stuff as we're going on.
And
Um,
I'm always gonna be in the comments. I'm very able to be reachable.
yes.
So
Um,
definitely.
Yeah, I can attest to that. So I thank you. I know you got a lot going on today. I won't take any more of your time, but I truly appreciate this.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Off top, off top.
One love.
There you go. Help others move with excellence. That's what homies do. Help yourself at the same time because you're worth it. Help your community, man, because they need you. And tap in. Get your record fixed, man. Take care.
Thank you.